best offenses ever. You can't beat that. Can you beat that? Like you're really watching old highlights and thinking like, the glory days. The glory.
No, I can't ever think that because right now it's probably the best we've been on like legit contenders of some sort, quite some time.
I just remember my team would like I just like it's crazy because like back then it was like you would watch your team slowly like disintegrate, like you watch your defense start getting worse, then you watch your O line start tripping, then you start losing receivers, running back gets too old. Nowadays you have a completely different team the next season.
Oh
We
yeah,
asked we asked for completely different reasons than you were asked last year.
and they're not there's less building time because so many teams have been able to just like one player has been able to change franchises.
Facts. But let's get into this shit, man.
Yes, sir. We got NFL Week 8 picks going from the start to the finish. But of course, before we get into the actual picks of this whole week and break it all down, we got to recap Thursday Night Football. Me and Kev were split on the picks. I took the Rams as the home dog. Kev took the Vikings, looking to bounce back from their first loss of the season. But there's a little trend that we didn't. I wasn't made aware of until this week. Was any all the teams that have played Detroit Lions have lost their games the following week. Like Detroit Lion opponents are 0-6 the following week.
Oh wow.
So that was another trend, like Vikings coming off the Lions. And Pat McAfee made a good point. He's like, yeah, the Lions are gonna bite your fucking kneecaps off. So how you gonna play football the next week with no kneecaps? So
Mm.
but outside of that little fun trend, the Rams took care of business at home. They not only got Cooper Cup back, but it shocked to both of us. Game day, they also activated Puka off of the IR. Puka comes
Yeah,
in,
that was crazy. That was crazy.
and Puka comes in, and honestly, the bets I took for the Cooper Cup overs, I probably wouldn't have touched any of the props for the receivers. No, if both were coming back, because Puka was the one that took the Cooper Cup bounce back game. Like he's the one that came in with the 7 catches, 100 yards. Cooper Cup gets the touchdown. Demarcus Robin gets 2 of those. Kyron Williams once again finds a way into the end zone no matter what week it is.
10
And
games in a row.
and uh, and after this game, it's breathed some life into the Rams. Rams sitting at 3-4. They're not out of this division. The Seahawks, I think, currently are leading the division, and they're 4-3, if I'm not mistaken. And the 49ers are also 3-4. The Cardinals are 3-4. Like this division's still within grasp for the Rams, so they needed this win. And the Vikings, very tough, very tough NFC North. Still in the playoff picture, but back-to-back losses, back-to-back semi-close losses too, depending on how you frame this one. Not gonna get it done.
Yeah, like you say, man, there's no such thing as like they be saying, there's no such thing as a good loss in the NFL. A loss is a loss, right? So like I watched this game thinking like, yo, bro, all you have to do the first half was neck and neck. They first half they go on first half 14-14. Second half, you come in, Matthew Stafford immediately makes an error, throws an interception. I was like, thank you. This is what I needed. I'm back comfortable again. But the Vikings couldn't finish in the red area second half at all. They only could get field goals. And I'm just looking like you can't beat a team like this that's reeling back an offense that's looking like well oiled, but O line that's blocking. I mean, when you seen that second touchdown pass to Demarcus Robinson, you're looking at the O line. O line gave Matthew Stafford a clean pocket. Motherfucker, he had enough time to go see Cooper Cup is being double teamed and make his read, check his second read, and make it all the way over to his third read to hit Demarcus Robinson in the flats because Stephon Gilmore was playing up. Like, it's like Duke can't settle for field goals on a team that's doing shit like this right now. A team that's really, really, and we got to get into it. But I don't think this was the fact that changed the game. But that missed face mask was terrible.
Oh yeah, and that was a draw because there was a minute and a half left in the game, and this like the Vikings. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like they could have did something right there. There's still good amount of time on the clock. They got into the like it wasn't like they weren't getting to the red zone. It's like they were consistently going to the red zone. Offense wasn't having a problem. It was just dying up until the red zone in the second half. So them basically, because that would have been 15 yards, extra set of downs. You're pushed up to like the 30 now, or not 30, but like the 25. That would have stopped the clock. You wouldn't have needed to stop the clock yourself. Like that would have been that weird momentum play that would have been like, oh, the Rams fucked themselves. You still would have had to go for two and get the extra point. You also would have had to score within the 90 seconds. So like there's a lot of what ifs in that scenario, but it is 100% fact that that was a face mask. And it's just bad because the refs happen to be like dead on. Like the ref that should have called it was right there. There's a guy literally about like 5 yards away from where the face mask took place. Didn't call it, and it's a prime time game, and the game's basically over because of that. So of course, that's gonna be one of the bigger talking points across the league now. It's like, how the fuck do you miss this call? Da 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 da. But I mean, there's a whole 60 minutes of ball, so you can't really just blame one play. But that will be the play that will be blown up and talked about everywhere.
Obviously, you know how that shit goes. But it is what it is. It's football, baby. And what killed me was that niggas had the audacity to say, "Yo, I didn't have a good look on the face mask." Like, nigga, what? What? That shit
That's
is
the part
crazy.
that pisses people off because it's like you're clearly right there, but I don't know.
I respect it. I mean, I wasn't watching the game like thoroughly, so I couldn't tell you how the refs did all game. But there were a couple catches that I was like, that must have been hard to call in real time. But that was a catch. Like especially the one to Justin Jefferson on the sideline in third quarter when he bobbled that bitch and they caught it.
Yeah, that was a nice
But
play though.
but it didn't fucking matter because niggas ain't do nothing in the red zone.
Yeah, and but I mean, like I said, the Vikings still in it. They just gotta you can't keep losing. Take those two losses on the chin, keep it moving. Y'all are still sitting nice in the playoff picture. The Rams, on the other hand, keep stacking them dubs.
Facts. And then Paul, what did I say? I've been saying this all season. If you want to beat me with Sam Darnold, bet. That's what these teams are saying right now. If you want to beat me with Sam Darnold, bet. Show me that you could beat me.
Yeah, especially the defense because like I don't think Stafford got sacked once. He did throw the interception and coming out of half, but again, they only got 3 points out of it. It wasn't the same like Vikings defense that we saw for the first few weeks where it was creating a lot of turnovers, a lot of mistakes out of opposing teams. They
Mm-hmm.
kind of taking the foot off the neck. It looks like.
When they're not up, they can't. They're not getting sacks. When they're not getting sacks, they're not controlling the defense. They're not controlling the fourth quarter, and they're giving teams chances to come back and seal games. But we can get into the week.
All right, Sunday, 1 o'clock. I believe we got about 8 games on the slate, maybe nine. Um, Buccaneers, 2.5 point home dog, Kev, taking on your Atlanta Falcons. Y'all are sitting pretty in the first place spot, NFC South. Buccaneers right there with you, both sitting at 4-3. Y'all got the tiebreaker, so this is gonna have some implications moving forward. We all know no Mike Evans, no Godwin for the Buccaneers. They're gonna be, I think, Trey Palmer, McClellan, the rookie, Kate Otten, the tight end. Like this is Ricard White, Bucky Irvin. They're gonna have to use these guys going into this game, Kev. Falcons sitting pretty here, Kev. How confident do you feel y'all walking out with the dub in Tampa Bay?
Confidence. We never walk in with confidence in any game. Every game we come in humble, and we know that we have a game plan. If we stick to it, we'll get the dub. You feel me? So everybody's screaming, "No Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin." I'm not gonna lie to you. This man Baker is a decent quarterback. Like I don't think he's a Brock Purdy as dude when all his best weapons are gone. He just disappears. Like shit went 19 for 24 last game with 3 touchdowns. Like that's where I need niggas to put respect real quick. Like as long as niggas, my team comes in with an idea like, yo, they might be missing their top two, but they still found a way to make shit work with the other five type shit. Like you feel me? They're gonna spread the ball. They're gonna run that bitch because they know they have two dynamic running backs that can change the pace and all that good shit. So we can't come in as just thinking, oh, we finna plow straight through them. They have a better defense because last game Vita Vea, um, Antoine Robinson, like they didn't have a few folks in that last game. So this team, I think, is actually going to come back and play better. So it's up to us to come in with a game plan saying, all right, we know we got to get these running backs off. We can't let Bijan have a slow game last week. So I don't know if we got to go outside zone, if we got to start pitching to the outside, end arounds, run whatever we got to do. But we got to make sure that these teams going. We cannot let Kirk Cousins leave this fucking pocket. So y'all boys got to block, and we got to limit mistakes and turnovers. So the run game has to work with us. And we got to come in and play like a well-oiled machine because we're here to bust these motherfuckers' ass and get this and solidify this playoff fucking seat. We bust their ass. I know the Saints ain't doing shit, and we're definitely not worried about the Panthers. So we need to just go in, bust their ass, and keep winning. So I'm looking for my team to come in locked in, focused, and ready to fuck some shit up. Not come in all lit, not come in, oh, last time we threw 500 yards. Fuck that. Kirk Cousins does not need to throw the ball 58 times. We need to come in and play a balanced game, block in and block.
See, my thing with this is, I think for y'all to win, Kirk does have to have a game. Like for y'all to, because y'all just match up a little bit. It's not a good matchup for y'all's type of game plan where it's run the ball a lot because their front
Mm-hmm.
seven, they're going to swallow up the run game. And that secondary is just, I know Winfield is a phenomenal player, but outside of Winfield, their corners are very weak. Like they are very, very bad against tight ends. They're very bad against wide receiver number ones. And if you see anything about the Falcons, is Kirk Cousins, yeah, he throws the ball to Ray McLeod and Darnell Mooney. Like they definitely get targets on the game. But the weeks they've been winning in the last few weeks, you started seeing a bigger target splittage between like Kyle Pitts and Drake London are
Drake
demanding
London.
about 20 targets a game. I think London's like getting 10 on average, and Kyle Pitts is getting 8. So I I think that y'all are gonna try to run the ball, but I just think for y'all to win this game, y'all gotta let Kirk slang that motherfucker because that the defense for the Bucks is very suspect in the secondary. And y'all, they're very bad, like one of the bottom 5 teams against tight ends. So Kyle Pitts, if you got him, start him. You're feeling comfortable. Drake London, got him, start him. You're feeling comfortable. The only thing is Baker with his back against the wall could either fold, throw a couple picks, look bad, like, oh yeah, that's Baker from the Browns days, or he could fucking ball out. And it's like no in between with Baker. It's either going to be 180 yards and 2 interceptions or like 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's the
That's
scary thing. And they're at home. They're a home dog. The spread is close. There are probably gonna be a lot of people on the Falcons here. I know the public's probably gonna hammer that because they know Baker's got no weapons. But I'm gonna ride with the public. I'm gonna ride with you. I'm taking the Falcons here on the road. It's a small road trip. I mean, what 7 hour drive? You can make that. Um, Divisional game, and I just think they're the more healthy team. Sometimes you have to lean on the more healthy squad.
we just gotta come in and know that we're better than these dudes. So now we gotta play like it.
And then we have my team finally. I'm not saying fully healthy because his defense is riddled with injuries, but at least got our quarterback back. The line indicates that he's going to play. He's coming off IR. He still has the questionable tag, but everything is indicating that Tua will suit up. That's why we're a 4 point favorite at home. If Tyler Huntley was starting or Tim Boyle was starting, we would probably be like a 3 point dog here. So that shows you that, yeah, Tua is playing. Taking on the Arizona Cardinals here. Cardinals, scrappy little team. They're 3-4. They're also a team that's, I mean, what we said about the Rams, they're sitting at 3-4. They're back alive in the division. So the Cardinals are still alive in the division. The Dolphins, we're sitting at 2-4. Kind of need to start getting wins together. No more excuses. Tua's back. Tyreek's healthy. Waddle's healthy. The most explosive offense last year should be back. And I hope we still lean on that run game because last year our run game kind of disappeared whenever we got a little trigger happy with the receivers. While Tua's been gone, we've low key been establishing a solid run game. So I will hope to see a balanced game plan here from Mike McDaniel where we still incorporate Morstead, Achane, Wright into the game plan. And let's not try to just feed the receivers a whole bunch of targets because Tua is finally healthy. Like, let's play a little smart here. I like us to win. I like us to win big. I like Tyreek and Waddle to go off though in fantasy. Like, I think them boys. If you've been sitting with them boys, like I have, you can start them and feel confident as ever.
I don't know if I'm starting Jalen Waddle, boy. I don't know. But if you got Tyreek, you better start that boy for real. I think fun fact, you guys low key, you guys haven't been playing the best quarterbacks in the world, but you guys low key have the number one pass defense right now.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm really expecting y'all to come up ready for this game. They're like, yo, this is the game we're ready to play for. But the only thing that scares me is your pass rush. I'm like, this pass rush, Kyler Murray, and this is against a team where he might not have any options throwing that bitch up. So I'm really, really scared in this game. I just don't trust the Cardinals enough to beat a team that's coming in ready to win, feeling like they have everything they need. And the funniest example I've heard this week was that you ever see the Water Boy? And
Oh,
there's that scene.
Boucher.
There's a scene when they take just clipboard on the sideline, and then he gets all mad. They said that's been like the game these last couple of weeks. Like he's just like, I can't even use my offense. I can't even use the offense. He's been sick. So this is the week where he takes his fucking clipboard back and he calls all his favorite plays again. So that's why I'm taking the Dolphins with you this week. Even though
And
I haven't getting burnt.
and Tyreek Hill, his odds are like if you go check his betting odds, they're the lowest numbers you're gonna see all year. Like his receiving yards are set at like 69 or 71. Usually he sits at like 95 to 100 because it's like one deep shot he's gonna get it. His touchdown is at plus money odds if you think he's gonna score a touchdown. And like to me, these are just free props. So going into this Sunday, I'm like, yeah, Tyreek Hill scored a touchdown, bet that. I'm putting a hammer on that, and I might parlay. I'm gonna find other things to cook that up with. But yeah, that's ride, boys, because it's I haven't put a jersey on Sunday in some time. All right, I'll be this fucking week. We got divisional rivals. Drake May and his 1-6 Patriots are 7-point dogs at home, taking on the Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets here. Devontae Adams another week in this system. Maybe he'll get a little bit more adjusted to it. Honestly, this is such an ugly game. I don't think the Jets should be a 7-point favorite no matter who they play. But I also think Vegas knows what they're doing with this line. Jets should win this game. If you lose this game, this is when like I know there's been like crazy media storm already about like, yeah, this shit's not working. Aaron Rodgers has thrown more interceptions within like 6-7 weeks than Zach Wilson has done in his past 2 seasons. There's been all these little things coming out. But if y'all lose to the fucking Patriots with a rookie quarterback and Drake May, who just let the Jaguars drop 32 on them in London, this is gonna be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think for this Jets team, I don't know what would happen afterwards. They're not going to start cutting people or anything, but it's just like the whole perception of this team would just be down the drain, people giving up, all of that. Must win situation for these Jets here. Do you think they're pulling out the win in Foxborough, or is it Jared Mayo and his boys or his soft boys gonna get this dub?
You hear what Bill Belichick said about that?
I didn't get to hear the Zach clip. I heard Pat McAfee like bring up like, yeah, we heard when Bill said blah 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 blah. It was something. It wasn't about like that's something you do like 1-on-1 with like in house, not like out loud or whatever.
Yeah, well, he does everything in house. He doesn't tell the media shit. But he was saying, like, yo, this team was number one against the run last year. There's nothing soft about this team. He's like, a lot of these players are the same players from like, he had to stand up for his guys. I was
Damn,
shocked.
Bill Loki, he
But the
just don't
way
know
he
how to
was,
use them boys.
yeah, but the way he was saying it was like he wasn't the coach last year for this team. Like, it was so funny. He was like, yo, the Patriots were fucking Patriots were number one against the run last year. Like these are fucking dogs. These motherfuckers were going out there getting up and tackling them and getting dirty with these motherfuckers. There's nothing soft about these motherfuckers, even slightly. So I would have took the Patriots this week in this game, just because of how ugly a game it was. And the Jets have burnt me fucking what 3 weeks in a row. They burnt me literally every week except that London game. And they tried to burn me in that game. So I'm gonna take the Jets. I don't want to take the Jets, but I'm going to because they let the Jaguars put up 32. I think they can the Jets can find the holes in this Patriots zone. I don't think the Patriots like Jared Mayo, so I don't think they're gonna get up and play harder for bro. But I do like Drake May to look good.
Yeah, and this is a because Jacoby Brissett played the Jets earlier this year, 24-3. I feel like that might be the litmus test for Drake May. The Patriots sitting there like, all right, as long as this ball game is closer than 24-3, as long as you get more than 3 points, we know you're better than Jacoby Brissett. But reality, the Jets should take care of business. Outside of when they played us, because we had our hurt team, we won that game. Don't get us wrong, but we only put up 15. Look at all the Patriots, the last 4 out of the last 5 opponents. They let Jags drop 32, Houston drop 41, 49ers dropped 30, and the Jets dropped 24, and had the Jets looked the best they looked all season in that game. So I do kind of see where the comments are coming from, because that's a lot of points to be landing up on defense. But yeah, give me the Jets here to roll.
That is a lot of points, Loki.
Then, Kev, this was the first game you kind of brought up before we started recording. You said you called it a trap game, if I remember. Bengals, 2.5 point favorite at home against this Philadelphia Eagles squad. Eagles coming off of a big win where they blew out the Giants 28-3, and the Browns stacking together 2 wins in a row. The Bengals stacking up two wins in a row, knocking off Cleveland Browns last week, and what was an ugly game but a must win. Currently sitting at 3-4, Kev. The Bengals. This will be the game that gets them boys to the 500 mark, 4-4, and no one's really worried about the Bengals anymore after a terrible start to the season. Philadelphia, kind of Nick Sirianni, I feel like has to win every fucking game. Otherwise, his job is back on the hot seat in Philadelphia with them fans. So, kind of a must win for them boys too. How do we feel with this matchup?
This is a litmus test like a motherfucker did for both sides. Like the Bengals are 0-3 at home right now. They let the Chiefs bust their ass. They let the Ravens bust their ass. They're not looking good at home. And but the thing is, this is when the offense plays the best. Your defense just lets up the most points. So it's a very slippery slope. And you've seen this Eagles team put it together with the run, throw that bitch up to AJ Brown and come down with it. And as long as motherfucking Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over, they're a winning football team. But both of these teams' defenses are suspect. So I'm like, this is a trap game. I'm like, no matter what, I think Vegas gets their money back on this game.
See, hold on. The one thing that I don't agree with is the Eagles' defense being bad, because I feel like they were bad to start this season. Yeah, they haven't let up a scoring drive or a touchdown in the past 2 weeks. I know 1 week was the Giants, so it's like take that one with a grain of salt. But I can't find exact numbers, but they've been like a top 10 defense in the last 5 weeks or so on like all around, not like particular against certain things. It was all around top 10 defense. Not Roquan Smith, but the defensive line has been still playing just as good as what we think they are. They haven't got the sacks to back it up like in previous years where they get crazy amount of sacks. They still getting crazy pressure though. That's the one straw I have that has me leaning a certain way is the Bengals can put up 30. I'm not saying they can't, but their defense has allowed every team they play to stay in the ball game, and I really feel good about the Eagles here. Like my one woe with the Eagles is their offense. If you're going up against a defense that is going to let your offense look good and score points, then that's the one thing I ever worry about with them. So if that's not the worry I should have for this game, I'm gonna lean towards them. I think their defense should be able to handle Burrow because Burrow hasn't really played his best ball. It's gonna be a good matchup though between Slay and Chase because Slay has been getting cooked recent in a lot of games. So like that could be the matchup that ends up like cook like watching Jamar Chase up go off for like 160 yards. That could be the difference maker here, but you're gonna have to show me. So give me the Eagles on the road. Not my favorite pick, but I'm gonna take them, boys.
You fucking suck. I was gonna take you. This is this game was one of those games I'm like, I think Vegas gets their money back, and it's because the dog is gonna bark on this one, and I'm gonna take the Eagles because you told me about their defense, and I just am not seeing this Bengals defense stop water.
Nothing.
Like couldn't even stop water from dripping. Like I don't know what to do about these guys.
And then we got honestly fun little matchup. Trevor Lawrence 2-5 taking on Jordan Love 5-2. It's in Duval County, but the Jaguars are a 4-point dog. Jaguars took care of business last week in London, finally getting back in the win column 32-16. The Packers have been rolling, coming off a close win against the Texans, but they're trying to make it four in a row. Their defense has been playing fucking bonkers. Turnovers left and right. Jordan Love is turning bad throws into great throws, and should be a good matchup here. Honestly, if I had to close my eyes and pick anything, it would probably be the over. And that has not. I just feel like this is gonna be in my gut. I just feel like this is gonna be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think the Packers are gonna. I don't know if Jordan Love is can be trusted with the football to kind of really hold it down and really get things going. But I think nobody trips about it because their defense makes up for it on the other side. So that's what always scares me when you're walking into a game when you're like, they could get the W, they should get the W, but are they gonna shoot themselves in the foot?
See, the Jags defense has been pretty bad too. So like that's the other thing is like the Packers offense can really come in here and like kind of just roll them over. I'm trying to see exactly where they line up.
Mm-hmm. I think the only way that the Jaguars look good in this game is if you can use that game plan from last week. Get Tanks Bigsby involved, get Brian Thomas Jr. the ball. And that's the best way for the offense to be rolling for me.
Yeah, I'm looking. The one thing that worries me because I knew they were bad. I didn't know how bad, but yeah, the Jaguars passing defense is the second worst in the NFL in yardage. Jordan Love could have his big game, but I just have a weird feeling that the Jaguars are going to play like stand up for this game. I have a feeling the Jaguars are going to play really well. Their running defense is low key like a top 10 unit. No one's really talking about. They've been able to stop the run. So maybe if they can keep Josh Jacobs contained, force Jordan Love to make those 50-50 throws. And law of averages, Kev, he can't keep getting away with this, as they say.
I can't keep getting away with this.
Those bad passes. I mean, he already has 8 interceptions. So it's not like he's getting away with it all the time. Like he's getting caught. Like he's throwing interceptions. But that 8 should probably be closer to maybe like 12 in
Yeah, I
reality.
was saying it should be 12 or 13. Off
He's
the Josh
looking
Allen
like a
shit.
Dak Prescott, Josh Allen type of guy with that motherfucker in his hand. Where like, oh, I kind of like this, and then bam, he just hasn't had that game where he throws like 1 touchdown, 3 picks yet. Like, but that's loading with the way he plays, I believe. And this could be the sneaky game. This is where the Vegas gets they get back because I feel like a lot of people are gonna be back in the Packers here, and I like the Jags here sneakily, quietly
Mm-mm.
to get the win.
Nah, this nigga Paul just love him a home dog.
Are you rocking? Oh, you're rocking with the Packers though, right?
Oh yeah, not no chance of picking the Jaguars today. I cannot trust them boys after they let Drake May look decent on offense last week. That their defensive coordinator, he has long nights. I can tell he doesn't get a lot of sleep.
I believe it. Then we got red hot team, America's team right now. I think everybody's favorite team if they ain't got a favorite team. The Detroit Lions are 11-point favorite at home, taking on the Tennessee Titans. Um, Honestly, I'm taking the Lions here. No shock to anybody. They're 11-point favorite. We can't lock them up, but they're probably going to win this game. It's the biggest spread of the week. It's the biggest spread of the Lions. Um, and there's no more D Hop for the Titans. Like I know they still got Calvin Ridley and Tyler Boyd, but like y'all let D Hop go. Y'all, I just I just feel like that's not a good look. Like it's just like this team is kind of you just shopped one of your top two receivers, got him out of there for some draft picks. That's telling me like yeah, and you shopped into a guy who's in the same conference in the AFC. It just tells me like yeah, y'all are waving the white flag. Season's over. Y'all really hope Will Levis ain't the answer. Maybe y'all gonna go draft one of these top guys next year. In this upcoming draft. That's what that kind of showed me in my opinion. Maybe I could be wrong here, but Detroit Lions, I don't think is losing this game.
Yeah, I mean, Will Levis is the only person. Is the only person. Let me say this correctly. Will Levis is playing so bad that the only person that's playing worse than him is Deshaun Watson.
And
I think it's like per player like efficiency rate or some shit like that. Like just pretty cans, and that's with DeAndre Hopkins, Calvin Ridley, TJ Spears, and all this shit. And we talk about the fact that they just traded D Hop, but this Titans team didn't want to win from the fucking start. Like they moved on from Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry found a bigger and better place, and now he's on pace to have 2,000 yards this season. So this Titans team has just been all fucked up from day one. So we definitely taking the Lions. Probably the second best in a offense in the league right now, just because the Ravens are first in everything.
yeah,
And they're still been balling without Aiden Hutchinson. So I'm expecting the Lions to come in and know they're supposed to win this game, get this dub, and start doing some tight end, some O line trick plays.
yeah. Then we got onto a divisional game. Another big spread, back to back big spread. So I'm glad we're knocking them out. Browns 8.5-point dog at home, taking on the Ravens. We get into Jameis Winston start. Um, I think this is going to be more of how does that offense look with Winston than I actually think they have a shot to win. I They are still injured left tackle, all pro left tackle. Jarek Willis Jr. is still hurt. Jerome Ford's hurt. I know Nick Chubb's back. The multiple O linemen also missing week practice throughout the week. Hopefully they'll get to play. On the other side, the Ravens, red hot, just red hot, probably the hottest team right now in the NFL. I know the Chiefs are undefeated, but just the way the Ravens have looked beating opponents is why I'm saying they're red hot, maybe the hottest team right now. Take another divisional game for the Ravens. They need to get this win. They probably can get this win. I just want to see how Winston looks. It's if he goes out there throws 170 yards and looks terrible, I'm gonna start thinking, okay, maybe it's not all on Watson. But if he goes out there and pulls a Joe Flacco last year and the whole offense without Amari Cooper looks good, I'm like, come on, Browns, y'all know what the fuck y'all got to do going into next year.
Yeah, I mean, it isn't all on Deshaun Watson, but Deshaun Watson does suck. But it's definitely not all on Deshaun Watson. I think his O line hasn't been the best blocking. They just got Nick Chubb back, and I haven't checked his receivers drop passes and stuff like that. But it's never all on Deshaun Watson. I just don't think this team is coming ready to win today. I don't think they think Jameis Winston is going to get them the dub. Because even Kevin Stefanski isn't calling plays. He gave that to his fucking offensive coordinator or something like that. So
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah, I don't think this team is checked out, but I just think this team sees what division they're in, and they're not expecting the highest it takes. I think it's going to start turning to a lot of I'm about to lock in and get my bag, make sure I hit my incentives and get right type of season. for the Browns.
Yeah, no. And Marlon Humphrey's game time decision, so we'll see if he plays. That might make a change to that defense if he doesn't. But yeah, should be another Derrick Henry touchdown week. Should be another Lamar potential MVP week. Then
Yeah,
we
they
get
said Lamar has better numbers this year than last year.
oh yeah, by far it's not even close. Not even close. He has by far his better number. And he probably has the best numbers in the league right now. But Jared Goff is getting the traction. Josh Allen's getting the traction. Mahomes is still sitting at the favorite spot for MVP, which makes no sense to me.
That's terrible.
6 and 8 right now, touchdown interception ratio. Don't make no goddamn sense. But divisional game, Houston Texans at the Stroud House taking on the
Stroud.
Indianapolis Colts. Texans are what, a 5-point favorite at home, looking. Didn't they just drop fucking? Oh, didn't they just? Oh no, they lost. Yeah, they're coming off the close loss to the Green Bay Packers, 24-22. The Colts coming off the two. They were actually low key 4-1 in their last five. So the Colts are 4-3 on paper, but 4-1 in their last five. Their one loss was to the Jaguars, which was 37-34, but 2 wins for Anthony Richardson, 2 wins for Joe Flacco in that stretch of games. One is doing it by slinging that motherfucker, and one's doing it by I don't know, by any means necessary. Anthony Richardson will get the start. Maybe he looks better. This will and same. I can say the same for C.J. Stroud. He's coming off probably some of his worst performances. But I mean, head to head here, this is what the number 4 pick versus the number 2 pick from that draft class a few years ago.
I didn't even think about that.
That's probably when they were making the game matchup. They're like, yeah, this is gonna be a good one. Yeah, it's rivals, number 4 pick, number 2 pick, and then Anthony Richardson came in and shit the bed. I don't even know if you can call that playing quarterback with what he's been doing these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's like I think he's the only person playing not playing. Some people playing worse than him is what was that
What
Mr. Deshaun Watson? I'm pretty sure we got to double check. But yeah, Jit is not playing well this season. I mean, a lot of people are saying let Joe Flacco start and he can learn under Joe Flacco, but it is what it is. I don't know because that offense looks quite nice.
I want it to be like 17-0 in like the at half, not even halftime, but like 17-0 in the second quarter. And I want like fucking the coach. Who's the coach? What's his name? I don't even matter. I just want to like bench and like Anthony Richards looked terrible. Anthony Richards just throws the second pick, and the coach, well, not Anthony, but they sit him and they turn to Flacco. I want Flacco to have a motherfucking cigarette in his hand, and then flip that bitch off to the side and then go out there and throw for 350. That's in a perfect world for me. Yeah, the biggest Flacco fan I think there is right now. Outside of Baltimore, I be holding it down. The Baltimore say they're the biggest fans, but anything outside of the DMV is my fandom.
Yeah, the coach is Shane Steichen.
Steichen, I almost said Stefanski. I was like, I know it's one of those type of weird spelling names. But back to the game. Texans here. It's a divisional game and big implications. Colts are 4-3. Texans are 5-2. So this will be. It's a bigger game than I think a lot of people are giving it credit for.
It definitely is, and it's in the Stroud house.
It's in the Stroud house. I think Nico Collins is back healthy for this game. I could be wrong. He might miss another game. Oh no, I think he is missing. He's on IR. But Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon have turned back the time. I feel like this year, not like they played bad in the recent years, but they kind of don't look like they aged at all in the last year. So maybe they can get it done. How are you feeling in this game? Are you leaning a certain way?
I mean, the Colts have the worst run, like a top 10 worst run defense, I think, or something like that. So let's make sure we start off that their defense isn't him. So because of that, I see Joe Mixon being able to play well. And if this CJ Stroud hasn't played well these last couple of games, but that's because the O line hasn't been able to really stop shit. I don't really see this. I haven't looked into it, but I don't remember this Colts team as a team that's been killing O lines and stopping shit crazy. So if you allow CJ Stroud to feel comfortable and he has a few of his weapons, I'm expecting him to play a good game, and then we get this dub. And we can't forget that the Texans still have a phenomenal defense, even though they be letting us points some games.
Yeah, they're the number two total yards defense in the league, only allowing 277. Um, do you know who has the number one yards defense in the league? The Tennessee Titans. Yeah, I would that number when I saw that, that shocked me. But then you go to like passing. The Colts are like a bottom team pass defense, whereas the Texans are the fourth best pass defense. You go to rushing defense. Colts are the second worst rush defense. Only team worse than them are the Panthers, and then the
Oh
Texans
wow.
are the top seven run defense. So yeah, I was bringing up all the offensive points, but yeah, the defense is probably a better way to say the Texans are just going to probably take care of business here. Uh,
They
CJ Stroud against that pass defense, Joe Mixon versus that run defense. That's the big liability. And Anthony Richardson going up against an elite defense, I could say, should be. I think this is pretty easy handicap, and this is potential lock ability right here, in my opinion.
Yeah, that boy might lock that thing. 5.5?
And sitting at 5 now, but honestly, just if they put up 30, could the Colts match that?
No, not at all. They could
That's
barely
what
match the
that's
Dolphins
the
when they put
mindset.
up
Like if
10.
that defense is allowing up 30 points, like is Anthony Richardson and I know Flacco can. Flacco, like I said, will flick that cigarette out his mouth and go throw for 350. Then we got it's just start of the 4 o'clock games. Chargers are 7-point favorite at home, taking on these New Orleans Saints. Spencer Rattler is getting the start once again. Alvin Kamara was getting traded, but then he signed. I mean, trade rumors were circulating, and then he signs a 2-year contract extension, linking him with the Saints for the next 2 years. So, kind of a weird development in that rumor. Somebody was right and somebody was wrong in that rumor mill. But kind of shocking to see the Chargers are a 7-point favorite, even though I know the Saints have looked pretty bad. I just think that's a big number for this Chargers team.
They came off a dub, right? Or did they lose last week?
No, they lost last week to the Cardinals, 17-15.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that was the Monday night game, and the Saints got absolutely walloped by the Broncos, 33-10 on Thursday. So both coming off a primetime game. Chargers technically have a short rest since they played the Monday night, and Saints coming off a long rest since they played Thursday night.
you know, matchmakers did that on purpose. They was like, all right, let's give them a chance. But we gotta start looking. I gotta start looking at these numbers before the show. The Chargers defense, even though they only gave up 17 last week, and it was like on a fourth quarter drive to kind of seal the game type shit. And so Chargers defense hasn't played terrible. And then I think the week before that, I think they only gave up like 3. Who they played the week before that?
They played the Broncos. So like they beat the Broncos 23-16. And I know math don't make sense in the NFL and stuff, but in the fall, and then the Broncos beat the shit out of the Saints. Saints started off the year, I think they 2-0, and they're 0-5. 0-5 in the last 5. Brandon Allen, I think, is the next coach, I think, on that hot seat. Chargers 3-3. Oh, it just seems scary to me, Kev. Am I tripping?
Yeah, just a little because the Saints suck.
I know they suck, right? Back against the wall because I feel like Brandon Allen. This is the kitchen sink game for Brandon Allen. It's like, oh not Dennis Allen. It's like I'm getting fired. Like I bought a one-way ticket. Like everyone else on this team got a two-way ticket, a return. Why am I the only one that only got a one-way ticket? That's how Dennis Allen's feeling. He's like, why the fuck? This shit ain't adding up. And they're like, we're gonna see how you do this game. Don't lose to the team that just put up 15 points. Couldn't score an offensive touchdown. Only kicked field goals all game. That's why I think this could be a scary game because, like, what if the Saints defense is like snap all of a sudden? They don't let J.K. Dobbins go for 100 yards and shit like that, or they just force field goals. But I'm gonna go with the Chargers here just because they are the better team. Like they should take care of it.
Yeah, they're the better team on paper. They're the better team coach, and they
And the
played
seven,
better over the last couple of weeks. So I gotta take the Chargers on this one. But I'm mad you just told me that because I'm like, damn, that is how that shit could go.
yeah, and there are 7 point favorites, so we can't even lock them up. So we gotta keep it moving. 3 point 3 point dog here on the road. We got the Seattle Seahawks, 3 point dog at home, taking on the Buffalo Bills coming into town. Seahawks low key the number one team in the NFC West. No one's talking about it. So don't feel bad about that loss last week, Kev, because that's the number one team in the NFC West. Then you got the Bills, 5-2, kind of have a dominating lead right now in the AFC East. Fuck them. Seattle, 3 point dog, Kev. I mean, you got to see them firsthand last week. So how are you feeling about this game?
I mean, I've been high on this team for the last few weeks. I was screaming they should have beat the 49ers if Gino played like he did last week.
The pass rush. My big thing to see, I honestly believe my pass rush take on them is legitimate. It's like if Gino gets time in the pocket, they win games. If you have a legitimate pass rush that will make Gino not throw for 300 yards, the league leader in yards right now, and make a couple mistakes, you're probably gonna win that game. And Kenneth Walker won't get 15 touches. It's like those two things go
Mm-hmm.
hand in hand. It's like Geno Smith not getting sacked, Kenneth Walker 15 touches or more. They win the game.
You think the Bills can do it?
I, who's their pass rushers? Like that's my thing with the Bills. I know they got a good defensive unit. I'm not talking shit or anything. It's just who is the guy that's gonna come in there and get this that's gonna completely disrupt that Seattle front, that O line. I don't see it on paper. I'm not saying it can't happen in game. I know they have a good D line unit altogether. Just I just don't see it. I'm stuck on making a pick here because there's a team that's a home dog. You know how I feel about that, and there's a team that's kind of the better team that isn't the dog here. I would take the over if I as a betting man. That's my favorite bet. I just think both teams are going to score points here. I'm gonna make you pick first this time
Okay, I love it.
because I'm really
I
stuck.
think
I kind of got to hear your take.
I think the Seahawks have played exceptionally well these last two games. Um, well, I wouldn't say they played exceptionally well, but I feel like they played better than better than their Madden rating these last couple of games. And their defense showed out last week, shutting out the Falcons in the second half, forcing Kirk Cousins to throw two interceptions and get a fumble. So they could be a problem. They could. And the Bills, they've been off and on. They've been playing well this game, looking close this game. Like, eh, eh. So for this game, I kind of need another dog on my slate.
Time to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Seahawks. I didn't come into here thinking I was gonna take the Seahawks, so I'm gonna take the Seahawks.
I'm checking right now. They have very because I'm looking at the rushing defense for both squads because I'm like if James Cook can get involved or if Kenneth Walker can get involved, and both of them have pretty bad rush defenses. They're both bottom 10. One's like number 5 and one's number 10, but it's only the difference of like 7 yards, so it's not really that like glaring of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
That also helps my take on. I would take the over here. Um, Buffalo Bills though they are creating turnovers. They have 10 turnovers on the year, if I'm not mistaken. That's the best in the league. Not 10 differential. So they have a difference of 10 turnovers. So they're leading the league in forced turnovers, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen's playing his best season of not saying he hasn't thrown interceptable balls because there has been still some 50-50 balls, but this luck has been on his side this year. It's gonna be loud in there. I'm as the fact that the Bills defense has been creating turnovers, I'm gonna rock with them here on the road, unfortunately. But I wouldn't be shocked if Geno drops 300 and they win this game. I'm gonna be rooting for that, but I'm gonna be picking the Bills.
They love.
All right, finally split on something. We're gonna go down 425. This was supposed to be the battle of the rookies, but now that is in question due to a rib injury. Jaden Daniels potentially will not be playing this game due to rib injury. If that's the case, Marcus Mariota will get the start. He looked pretty good last week when he took over and continued the ass whooping that the Commanders was giving the Panthers. But the Commanders are taking on the Chicago Bears, 5-2 versus 4-2. This is honestly, I want to be mad. This was the Monday night football game. I felt like this should have been the Monday night game instead of the Steelers and Giants. But instead, we're gonna have the rookie of the year potentially gonna be playing in this game. If Jaden Daniels also gets to play, rookie versus rookie, that's what I'm hoping for. I really hope it's not Marcus Mariota, just because I like the storyline of seeing these two rookies play each other. Commanders defense has been playing pretty solid, not the best, but been playing pretty good. Whereas the Bears defense has straight out won games. Arguably the best defensive unit in the NFL. Broncos might fight with them for that title right now. How are we feeling for this matchup here?
I mean, I wish it's. I don't think it's gonna be rookie versus rookie. If I was the coach, I wouldn't play Jaden Daniels just off the face that just bodge, kid, just chillax, take the week off, don't stress it. Because this defense is a problem. And if he's not 100%, I don't think I'm putting him in harm's way against this defense.
100%. I would,
Mm-hmm.
and he's the future. Like he doesn't have to prove nothing to me at all. Like he's the future.
And they have a slight cushion right now, like in their division. It's not like a get comfortable cushion, but like
The
they
cushion could
once.
disappear though, because if the Eagles win and they lose, the Eagles are back at number one.
Oh, really? I thought they had one game on the Eagles
The
because
Eagles are 4-2 and they're 5-2. But if Eagles
oh,
win, they're 5-2 and they move to 5-3 with the loss.
okay. So yeah, they need well, they haven't played the Eagles head to head yet, have they?
I don't believe so. No, this division hasn't really played each other that much this year.
I mean, Saquon, the boys,
Yeah,
Saquon
Saquon
pulled
on the
up.
Giants did.
But I wouldn't play Jaden Daniels just off the face of that. But I'm not the coach, and I'm also not Jaden Daniels. I don't know who the fuck. I don't know how well he feels. I'm not the doctor. I'm not the trainer. You feel me?
He
So
he came out and said today or yesterday, I want to play, but it's not my decision. Like he was in the
mhm.
press, and so he's willing to play. It will be a Dan Quinn.
I mean, and they looked good with Marcus Mariota, but I have the Bears. I think their defense is really, really nice. I think their defense is gonna do enough to get them boys right. And I'm not saying that the football team has played bad defense. I just think people have been able to score against them. So if you don't have your number one quarterback in, and you're probably going against a top five defense or top two in Paul's opinion, I'm gonna trust them on this one.
Yeah, and especially if Mariota gets the start. If Daniels was in and healthy, this is a different ball game. It's the fact that he is, even if he does play, it's with the rib injury. Rib injuries hurt so bad that I doubt he would be running the ball and the chance to re-aggravate it. Because that could linger. Mariota gets the start here. I think the Bears defense put him in a box. Bears is the third best defense of forcing turnovers right now. They're also like the fourth best pass defense in the NFL. So Mariota comes in. I do expect him to have a tough time and a target on his back. DeAndre, something's gonna have to give in this game because DeAndre Swift's had like 3 straight games in a row where he's just constantly been eaten. But the Commanders do have the fourth best run defense in the league, allowing less than 100 yards per game. I would like to see if DeAndre Swift can still get the ball fed here. I'm rocking with the Bears. I'm rocking with DeAndre Swift to score probably 2 tutties.
Hey, I might have just remembered something. Is DK playing this week?
For the Seattle, no, he is out. But Tyler Lockett and Jackson Smith and Jigba are still good to go.
Mm. You might get a call. Hey, I got the Bills. Huh?
Yeah, let me know. I do. I forgot about that actually. I think I have a
You
fan.
might. Let me go triple check on that. But you might get a call. I got the Bills.
Yeah, I do know he's out because I remember seeing that pop up. Uh, so if you change it, let me know. But keep it a push. Where are we at? Oh, 425, big spread on the slate, 11-point favorite here. Kev,
Oh,
Kev, you used to pray for time for like this. Broncos, 11-point favorite at home, taking on the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young is getting the start. Andy Dalton, car accident with him and his family. No one's majorly hurt. Prayers, though, hopefully speedy recovery for everybody in the car and the whole family. Broncos defense, another team that I'm going to keep it short and simple. Bryce Young versus a top two, maybe not two defense in the league. The Bears are going the Bears. The fucking Broncos are going to steamroll them here. Bo Nix doesn't have to do anything crazy.
60 yards.
But watch, this is gonna be the week, Kev. This is a case study. If I fucking lose, if they lose, it's because Bo Nix has a personal vendetta for me or something. I don't know, because it just won't make any sense that every time I pick him, they fucking lose, and every time they lose, or every time they win, I pick against
Hey, man, real estate looking good over here in Bronco County. The sun's coming out. What's it called? All the trees are starting to get cold over here, nice and chilly. You know what I'm saying? We vibing in Bronco County, so I definitely got the Broncos. I just think an 11-point spread is crazy. Like we really used to pray for times like these.
them. Yeah, that defense. Like, if they didn't have a good defense, I don't think the spread gets that high. But it's just the fact that like they're not expecting probably Bryce Young to do anything. Hey, Bryce Young back against the wall. Time to go prove him wrong, Bryce. Go get him. Then we got divisional game Raiders, 9.5-point dog at home. Gardner Minshew
Wow.
starting, taking on the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs will lose, but this won't be the week. Not against this Gardner Minshew squad. No.
Bro, I've said that the last 3 weeks in a row. The Chiefs are gonna lose, but definitely not against this terrible ass team. You just gave away your fucking best receiver, Jacoby Myers. Oh, Jacoby Myers should play. Motherfucking, I say blow this team up. Trade Max Crosby.
Yeah, let Max Crosby go to Detroit. I didn't know, but he's
But
from like Michigan as well. He went to college in Michigan as well. Like he's a Michigan guy. I was like, oh yeah, Raiders, just go ahead and do the right thing for the universe.
and then the thing about the Chiefs is this is the first game with D Hop. You think the boys gonna let D Hop score?
I think so, but I'm not unlike the Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams, where I was like, oh, I think both of them scored. I felt pretty confident. This is the one where I don't feel as confident just because with I can see him being used as a decoy. Red zone,
Mm-hmm.
they have him as like a one-on-one somewhere. He does like they're gonna use him as a decoy, and then boom, they're gonna let like fucking Justin Watson, Xavier Worthy, Noah Gray, some of these other guys, like they're gonna use Kelsey and D Hop as decoys, I believe, and let some of these other guys score. And that's kind of been their success. Um, Kareem Hunt also has been kind of killing it, and his Raiders defenses have been so bad. And maybe they can pull the upset of the century because they did beat the Ravens back in week 2 or week 3. Like to end your season, like yeah, we fucking lost every game except against the Ravens and Chiefs.
We'll see. I don't like it, but we'll see.
Sunday night football, the 49ers are a 4.5-point favorite at home, taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Uh, whew, two teams that probably need to get on the right track. So
ASAP.
somebody can do it this week. No Brandon Ayuk. Debo Samuel probably might not play. Um, it really looking like it's Ricky Pearsall, the rookie. Fucking George Kittle. I mean, he still got George Kittle. Don't get me wrong. Then Jordan Mason, but the receivers are hurt. Can the 49ers and Brock Purdy figure it out? They need to get in the win column. And then on the other side, the Cowboys, coming off. What was the fucking number? 47-9. They're coming off a bye week after that. They had the bye week coming off the bye, but before the bye, they lost 47-9 to Jerry Jones' worst loss in history
On his birthday.
on his
I don't know what
birthday.
my birthday is.
How are we going here? Who's getting their shit together and who's squeezing out the win? And this is also a rematch to the playoffs, I think, last year. Because the 49 it was either this year, last year, or the year before, but 49ers have knocked them out of the playoff recently.
I mean, they'll do it again. Fuck it. You want to see me do it again? But
History, but
I think it's funny how the 49ers are favored in every game this season and aren't even number one in their division. That's kind of crazy. And the Cowboys cannot. I mean, I think maybe this game looks closer than it's supposed to be, but the Cowboys have not stopped any team from running all over them. And if there's one thing this fucking 49ers team can do is run when the running backs are healthy. Jordan Mason is second in the league in rushing yards right now. And that's including the game where he missed like 2.5 quarters because of the AC because he had a problem in his AC joint. So I have the 49ers to run all over the Cowboys. Cowboys offense hasn't been able to do anything spectacular, amazing, or to make anybody do anything, make anybody like respect them. I think off of a bye week, they might come in with a good game plan and might start the game off scoring, and maybe Brock Purdy has to come back. But we've seen the game where he has a random receiver that just takes over like a Jawan Jennings. So this might be one of those games.
no, he's hurt also. I forgot about John.
So,
They were really down the guys.
fuck,
Frankie
fuck,
Crystal, the rookie wide receiver one coming into this week.
really.
Yeah, that's how short-handed they're gonna be.
I mean, I saw him play in person at Florida, and Jit got
Oh, there
hands.
we go.
I will say, Jit do got hands, kid. I ain't gonna lie, he got hands.
I'm gonna take the 49ers. I didn't know about the run numbers until you brought it up. So that makes me feel a little bit more confident. I was always gonna go Niners here, just because that the at least with the offense with the 49ers, they know what they're doing. They've looked good. They just started getting turnovers. They started failing out in the red zone. They started not converting the fourth downs that they used to be converting when they went for it on fourth.
The run game went
They're a
non-existent
little
because
hurt,
of Tony
like they're
Pollard.
banged up. But then whenever you look at the other side of things, Cowboys I think are still lost. I don't think they really know if they can run the ball. They have yet to have a 100-yard rusher. I don't know if they can really throw the ball. They without Cooks, they don't. They have Justin Tobert as their wide receiver number two. He's a cool speedster, but that's kind of all he got. CeeDee Lamb can't isn't really having the year he had last year. Not blaming him. It's kind of like their offense altogether look pretty bad. Dax look bad. Until they figure it out, I kind of can't pick the Cowboys. And I think this should be an easy win for the 49ers. This is another game that's, what did I say earlier? Lock potential.
Lost potential, dangerous. But yeah, man, the 49ers would fuck them boys up. You feel me?
And then we got the Monday night, the final game on the slate before we go into the locks and dogs. The Steelers are a 6-point favorite taking on this New York Giant squad. Shouldn't be a Monday night game, but I'm not going to
Shouldn't.
bitch about it. Here we are. Russell Wilson in the prime time, Daniel Jones and this Brian DeBall unit that just got blown the fuck out at home. Meanwhile, the Steelers are riding high off of a very good win in prime time last week. How are we feeling here? Are we taking the red hot Steelers here and not looking back?
Bro, this nigga look good for 1.5 quarters.
Or they put up 37 on the Jets, bro. That's all they got to do.
I hate this nigga, man. I hate this nigga, Russ. I blame Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson for this. But he looked good last game against a better defense. So he's gonna look even better this year. I think they have their confidence, they're rolling. I still don't think he's a good quarterback. And I wouldn't want him quarterback for my team. Like I'll take Kirk any day.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it is what it is. The Steelers defense is gonna play phenomenal. I don't know how this became the Monday night game, but it is what it is. I got the Steelers for sure. Are the Steelers at home?
Yeah, this is back to back fucking primetime games for the Steelers. Yeah, great.
They're finna have the towers going, man.
Oh yeah, they are. The terrible times are gonna be going crazy. There's no way I'm picking the Giants here after the showing they did last week. That defensive unit is not what I thought they were. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they're Trace they moved on from Singletary at running back. They got the rookies kind of taking all the touches now. Malik Neighbors showed that he is human and he is still a rookie last game where he can yeah, he probably is really good, but without Daniel Jones, I mean, Daniel Jones at quarterback, that's limiting his ceiling. Give me the Steelers here at home, back to back home games for the Steelers, back to back prime games for the Steelers. Mike Tomlin is gonna take care of business here.
Hell yeah. It's the what Mike Thomas saying, it's the standard. We go in and we beat the shit out of sorry ass teams like this because it's the standard. And the standard is the
Hey, he's not
standard.
wrong. There's a reason why he's never gone below fucking.
You know, I was watching Pat McAfee and they was talking about how Steelers fans like they're tired of being a fucking good winning team. Like they're tired of being a team that doesn't have a fucking that doesn't have a losing season. So they're telling us that we don't win anything and we don't get a decent draft pick. Ah, brother. Like it was just them boys was cool, dog.
That is a bad play. As a fan, I can see where that sucks to be stuck because it's like you can see all the nice talent coming in, and you're like, oh, I wish I could have C.J. Stroud, or I wish I could have this guy, this guy. Meanwhile, you're drafting a defensive guy at the late first round pick every year.
Yeah, and he's over here playing fucking he's not even starting the first year.
But all right, we made the picks from top to bottom. Hopefully, we can go undefeated this week. I'm still waiting for our perfect week
The
with
day
the
that happens, we gotta feel like a party.
yeah. Marcus did it just off a fucking whim, so I'm like, all right, like can't be that hard.
I've been close a couple of weeks. There's a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
It was
man.
like a
Last week was a couple field goals away. I feel like from you almost having a perfect week, but let's get into the best part: the lock and the dogs. Kev, how we feeling? We kind of switched up the last couple of weeks with the
oh
rotation.
man. I ain't gonna lie to you, kid. Motherfucker, I'm glad the Vikings are ran for a Thursday game because I definitely would have locked the fuck out of that.
See, I
Boy.
would have dogged up the Rams. That's what be pissing me off. I
Ah.
would have dogged up.
I would have been Vikings got this all day. I mean, I only have one dog. Well, I have two dogs on my fucking slate. I gotta start picking more dogs.
There's a lot of fucking big spreads that kind of eliminate locks. Like anything over seven we can't lock. So seven and up we can't lock. So it's like damn, that's like 5 games this slate.
Yeah, so I looking at these Eagles. That's a good load of that. I don't know why the Jets are. I'm mad I can't lock the Broncos. Um, I mean the Eagles is a good dog. Um, oh, I might
I
lock
kind of
my
like that as a
Falcons.
dog. That was gonna be
I
my
look,
dog, but that's a good one.
I low key like locking my Falcons. Um, yeah, let's lock my Falcons 2.5. Fuck the Bucks, the fucking ears,
Okay.
and let me lock these Packers because they're split on that game, and I think the Packers did me right the other not too long ago.
All right. So you got the Packers and the Falcons as your locks. Kev's sitting at 9-5. You all don't know. Solid. That's a solid record right there.
These are all 1 o'clock games too, so we can get those out the way fast.
And then for your dog, you got the Seahawks sitting there for you, and you
I
got
got the Eagles.
are you taking the Eagles? Or are you locking in the
Mm-hmm.
Eagles?
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna have to co-sign the Eagles. I just need to start stacking in wins on my dogs. 1-6. I mean, it's terrible for dogs. So I'm just gonna because I could throw the Jaguars in there, but that's more of a gut play than strategic play. Strategies telling me, yeah, we're taking the motherfucking Eagles here.
I mean, 1-6 on a normal season, I think isn't that bad. But because the dogs have been barking like crazy this season, you just have been picking the wrong one. It's hurtful.
Oh, I'm looking down for some locks here. I told you this was potential lock play. Um, I'm gonna go with it. Texans over the Colts. I really
Mm.
like the Texans here.
Oh, I
Um,
don't know why I wrote down the fucking Colts. We both. I put down we both had the Colts.
oh, you
Text.
tweeted, yeah, no, no,
Dang, I look. That's a really good lock.
no. Going with them, I think that should be a solid win. Easy win, honestly. Their offense is going to bounce back. CJ Stroud's going to do pretty good. That defense for the Colts is really bad, and Anthony Richardson starting. That's not a winning formula.
Facts.
And then I
Time
kind
not to
of
win
like
games.
I'm kind of stuck between three. I could go. The Steelers have not done me wrong at all. They were my first dog to hit. I've locked them up in the past, and they hit. They hit pretty big, and I kind of get that vibe from them this game. But that's kind of a big spread. I could, if I want to get a little bit closer, I could go either Dolphins or 49.
Mm.
Since you're locking up your team, I'm gonna lock up my team. Give me the Miami Dolphins to get the win at home with the Arizona Cardinals coming into town.
That's a great lock.
Yeah, I feel good
That's
about
some really good locks. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I felt good about that one. Yeah. So Texans, Dolphins for the dogs, Falcons, Packers for you, Kev. We both riding the Eagles this slate. We're only split on two games. Potentially only one game if and then we have the Thursday game as well. So technically that game also we're split on. But nice little slate coming up, Kev. We gotta get up out of here. Motherfucker gotta go to work. Motherfuckers, we gotta tune into these fights. Check out Abu Dhabi if y'all not
Facts.
watching. But as always, appreciate y'all watching. I'm Paul Pick'em Winner, okay? Waterboy Savoy. And it's been another episode of Breaking Down the NFL Week 8. And if y'all didn't know, well, now y'all know, motherfuckers.